Okay.
I thought you might sing the song or something. Solid, that, solid. Once upon a time, it might have been the stuff of dreams, but no, look at it. There's the Prix de l'Arc de Triomphe trophy, and here is the Prix de l'Arc de Triomphe winning jockey Luke Morris. Luke, it must be amazing to have won such a prestigious race in such style.
Obviously, it's a day you dream of growing up. You never quite imagine it's going to happen, but for it to happen, for connections who've supported me so well, was very much a dream come true.
Okay, you've said that, so you've led me straight in then. What were you dreaming of when you grew up? Like, mum and dad, were they horsey people? Were you dreaming of being a jockey?
I was from a very horsey background. My uncles were both jockeys. Granddad was a jockey, and you know, as a family, we've always been involved with horse racing to a certain level. And at the age of 6 to 7, I had my heart set on being a jockey, and I started riding out for Michael Bell every day before school when I was 12. So you're very much dreaming of those big days, and for it to kind of climax in winning the Arc, you know, was very much what dreams are made of.
Hard work seems to have been a theme throughout your career. Have you always been someone who sort of chucks 100% at everything?
Yeah, I think even when I was younger, I played football, wasn't particularly good. Did a bit of boxing, wasn't particularly good, and even then I wanted to be as good as I could be. And when I started with Michael Bell, I wanted to be as good as my ability would allow me to be. And I've given it 110% the whole way through.
So at the start, you've got this dream of the big scene, the big races, but in many ways people see you or saw you as a numbers jockey, like it was just churning out numbers, loads of rides, lots of winners. Were numbers satisfying enough for you, or was there a bit of you thinking, I'm more than just a numbers man, for all that you can make a great living out of being a numbers person?
You want to have big winners, and you want to be there on the big days, on the Saturdays and the Royal Ascots, etc. But for me, I am generally very conscious of numbers, and every year I want to ride 100 winners, and if I don't, I feel like I've almost failed. So I work hard from January the 1st till December the 31st to ride as many as I can. But obviously you are craving those big winners on the big days. But I think it's important on a Monday to Friday you show you can ride these winners, and you hope they kind of they develop into opportunities and better races. Is
it the winners rather than the money? Because jockeys can make a good living if they're getting 6-7 rides a day, even if they're not having a winner, if they keep that total going over. But is it the winners that give you the drive rather than just making a living?
I think it's definitely the winners. It's the it's that feeling of being a winner, and it's also, it almost feels like a tick off you. Right, I only need to ride X amount now to get to whatever target I've set myself, or etc. So it's always there's always almost a story behind each winner and where I want it to get me.
Sometimes I think when we look at jockeys, and you might believe that they're not sort of just normal people behind the scenes, but Luke, you're a dad. How has being a dad, has it changed anything about the way you go about things?
I think it changes everyone as a person, really, and a bit of Henry keeps me on my toes, and you appreciate the days you have off a bit more.
I mean, you've plopped him on a pony somewhere over here, I think. This one? Is that's
Henry's pony, Tiggy. So we're getting him starting nice and young, and he seems to love it at the moment. So as long as he keeps enjoying it, we'll be fine.
If he wanted to be a jockey, is it something that you would encourage or not?
Racing's been very good to me, so I certainly wouldn't stop him. Whatever makes him happy, and I'd be more than happy with that. But like I say, racing's been extremely good to me, and whatever career path he chooses, if that is in racing, we'll certainly support him.
Style. Got to talk about style, as you know. I know already just by your movement there, you think, oh God, not that. But it's part of your makeup now. Samart mentioned it straight after the Arc win. I'm thinking that, George Duffield, who'd been with Prescott, wasn't what you could call a Frankie Dettori in terms of style. Seb Sanders, I mean, agricultural at best, Seb, isn't he? So you come in. It's what I'm trying to get at here is, if Sir Mark Prescott cared about style, he wouldn't have had the jockeys he'd had before you. For him, it's about results. And do you feel that that was something that probably was good for both of you?
I think so, and you know, there are times when a few years ago, Sir Mark did say to me, you know, I think you will get better rides in bigger races if you can polish yourself up. And you know, I went to the racing school, worked on a few things, had a few sessions, and it just didn't really work for me. I was always second guessing and concentrating probably too much more on thinking, oh, how's this going to look, how's that going to look, and it just didn't work for me, and I had to go with what was natural. And I'd like to think that my results, you know, prove that it certainly hasn't had any detrimental effect. And there are always going to be people who, when you look slightly different to the norm, or you do things slightly different to the norm, whether that's broadcasting, presenting, riding.
What are you getting at here?
Riding.
What are you getting at here, Sniper?
When you do things slightly to the norm, you're gonna, you know, you're gonna get responses. So, but it's all about getting the results, and whether that be, you know, riding a race, football or cricketer, as long as the results are right, you know, that's fine by me.
Alpinista now, and Luke Morris have taken it up. Al Hakim is in chase. Here's Torquedo Tasso in the yellow jacket. Verdeni is still there. They're inside the last 200 metres. Alpinista in front. Verdeni the green colours. Torquedo Tasso the yellow. They're closing on her, but she's gutsy. She's brave. She's done it. Alpinista's won it.
Obviously, we've got to talk about Alpinista. Your run through the race seemed just about perfection.
No, it went nice and smoothly, and obviously from stall 6 we'd set out with a plan to hopefully keep it as simple as you can in the 20-runner arc. And you know, I was probably in slight disbelief how well she was going and how smooth a trip through I got. I actually gave Johnny Mercer a call the night before just to speak to him about riding in arcs. Obviously, you know, I'd had limited experience riding, you know, around Longchamp on the main track, but you know, he was extremely helpful, and Sir Mark had spoke to Alan Roy Dupre as well, so we'd kind of felt like we'd covered every base, and it's nice that it worked out exactly how we planned.
You almost took a pull in the arc in the home straight, and there seems to be this story that Sir Mark had said count to 5 or 10 or something before you unleash her. Did you genuinely do that in the back of your brain?
Yeah, well, obviously, to be honest with you, I certainly wasn't expecting to be going so well, and we'd gone extremely hard, and obviously the ground had got very tested, and I was slightly nervous that if I unleashed her inside the 2, I'd paddle the last furlong, so I was just trying to be as brave as I could and hold on for as long as I could. And you know, I think in hindsight, if I would have let her down at the 2, it would have been extremely tough, because Verdeni and Torquedo Tasso were closing on me at the line, so it was just nice that, you know, the plan come together, and it worked out exactly how we'd envisage it.
The reaction to the victory has been pretty special, hasn't it?
Yeah, like I say, it's been quite overwhelming, the amount of people, you know, when I'm, say, at Wolverhampton or something, random people coming up to me saying well done, and so I can't be thankful enough to messages and support everyone's given me, and also Sir Mark. Like I say, it was an unbelievable special day for Sir Mark, Miss Rousing, and all the staff there, the people that put all the hard work in, and it was great to be able to reward Connections, Miss Rousing, Sir Mark with such a great day, because they've given me an opportunity on a horse in the world's greatest race, and to deliver it, you know, is extremely rewarding for me. And you know, Miss Rousing puts so much into breeding and other things. She's an extremely generous woman, so to almost reward her with such a special day and be there to experience how much it meant to those guys is, you know, it's extremely special.
Let's just have a quick wander around the garden and see what you can tell us what we've got as such. So I have to say, I thought it was going to be more like Animal Farm, and because you have the pony comes into the house occasionally. What are these over here? What have we got?
They're Henry's chickens and ducks. So
fantastic.
I think we started with 1 or 2, and
I mean, I have no idea. Are they hard work?
No, not at all. They're all
just get on with it.
They're all enclosed, and they need a bit of feed and water. So
But Luke, when you say they're all enclosed,
There seem to be one or two that aren't.
Yeah, that was.
I mean, it's hardly the. Oh, they're lovely. And you sell your eggs. So if the jockey career does go down the chute after winning the Ard, you're an egg seller.
Yeah.
How many eggs would you sell a month?
I don't know. I think they get forgotten about, and there's probably about 6 sold a month. So I'm certainly never going to make a living from selling eggs.
And you've been in vaguely at the sales and stuff, haven't you? There is a little sort of Morris sideline breeding.
Yeah, I absolutely love the bloodstock side of it. I always have growing up, and it's something that I would love to turn my hand to eventually, when I do finish riding, which, I hope there's still a good few years left, but pinhooked a few in the past.
For people who are at home who don't know what that is, what?
You buy foals and resell them as yearlings, which it's not as easy as it looks. So we've done that in the past, and we've got a couple of mares that we've put in foal, etc., and sell the progeny. But it's at the moment it's very much a hobby, but you're just trying to hope it can be slightly more commercial.
Yeah. Got this carrying thing down to a fine art, haven't you? It would be great though one day when you can tell him you've won an arc and you can show him Alpinista, when he understands what that really means. It would be unbelievable, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I'd like to say, and hopefully if he has,
Yeah.
hopefully if he has an interest, then he'll appreciate that a bit more.